Good morning. Today is the 8th of November 2025, the 82nd anniversary of the establishment of the Naval Ordnance Test Station. Woo! Yay! From 1943 to today, the constituents of the base as we know it includes the Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake. They basically operate and maintain this installation. It is the largest Navy holding. The second thing, that's the most important tenet, at least in my opinion, is the Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division, that has also a component at Point Mugu, as you know. Together with VX-31 Dust Devils and the VX-9 Vampires, they form the full spectrum research and development test facility, evaluation facility that we simply call China Lake. Okay. Now, if you would like more details about that, we have 5 volumes of the China Lake history.
It's awesome!
Yeah, and they're available in the gift shop, even better. And in addition to that, we also have videos for sale in the gift shop. This is going to be a little bit like a TV program, and you will get a commercial roughly every 2 or 3 minutes. So welcome to the China Lake Museum, where we honor the past, educate, and build for the future. I'm Bob Smith. If you don't already know, I'm the current president of the China Lake Museum Foundation, ergo I get this job. Before we go on, I'd like to remind you of a couple things. One, if you would please go in and sign the guest book that we have inside, we'd appreciate that, just to have sort of a count of how many people are actually attended the event. You probably already noticed that we have tacos, barbecue, coffee, shaved ice, and popcorn for your dining pleasure, so help yourself. We do ask, though, that you don't take food or drink into especially into the STEM building. It's brand new, and we'd like to keep it that way. For reasons that you'll find out later, you won't be able to take it into the exhibit hall. If you notice, there's a lot of people wearing these very attractive maroon t-shirts. They have the China Lake Museum advertised in the front and the Naval Ordnance Test Station advertised in the back. You will also not be surprised to know that these are available in the gift shop. So in addition to that, we have a special offer from our gift shop manager, Fawn Martinez, who says if you spend, the first 20 people that spend $30 or more will get a free gift bag. Now the gift bag will have amazing things in it because they're from the gift shop. So the China Lake Museum was originally located on the base, and it became became an official naval museum named the U.S. Naval Museum of Armament and Technology, operated by the China Lakes Museum Foundation since it was established in 1993. As access became more difficult onto the base, it was decided that we wanted to relocate out to the city where we are today in Ridgecrest. We're now named the China Lake Museum, and it was opened in March of 2018. In a little over 7 years from our move to Ridgecrest, we have made great progress. Everything that you see here was put onto what was 5 acres of dirt back in that time frame. There are many people to thank for this, especially the founders who were visionaries of the China Lake Museum Foundation. Signatories to the Articles of Incorporation of the China Lake Museum Foundation on 1 March 1993 included Milt Burford, Bernie Colloway, John DePaul, Hugh Drake, Burl Hayes, Dick Murphy, Steve Sanders, and Jerry Schieffer. You probably recognize some, if not all of those names. Thanks to our success, that includes our business partners, legacy givers, building founders, life members, volunteers, and members. And we honor them in this building here. If you go ahead and turn to your left, you'll see names of all of those people. They've been important to us, very important. We're not here if it weren't for them. We're here to celebrate the completion of the STEAM Discovery Center and our almost complete exhibit center. We'll explain exhibit hall. We'll explain a little bit about that. The STEAM Discovery Center will have classes, lectures, and education in general. 3 classes have already been taught in the building for STEM in art, basically. Martine Fawn Martinez taught the art classes, and she's been teaching young kids art for many, many, many years. I've been to, I think, all of them to observe, and the little kids really enjoy that, and she does a great job. You'll see that the setup in the building, if you haven't been in there before, includes such neat things as a really nice rug that the kids sit on initially as she explains something about the artist. They then go up onto the tables and do painting that tries to replicate some of the paintings done by the famous artists. The exhibit hall will soon be approved for final occupancy. Artifacts currently on the base in what we call the Naval Museum of Armament and Technology will be moved to Ridgecrest. We believe we will have the largest display of tactical air-launched weapons. I would like for you to ponder that, and those of you that know some of the details, see if you agree with that, because we have things that date back quite far. And while I'm not the most experienced at all the other museums, I don't remember seeing a lot of these kinds of weapons and so forth. We're going to also hold social events in the hall, and believe me when I say we're really, really close to occupancy. And if you don't believe that, you can speak to Tom Miller. Tom knows why. So, why are we holding a ribbon cutting for a facility that's not completed? That's a good question. But it turns out that simply having the space to move the artifacts that are on the base is critical. Okay, critical. It's going to take a while to move the things from the base out to this structure that you see here behind us. We're going to move what I call the rolling stock first. If you've been in the base museum, there are exhibits that have exhibits up on kind of a triangular shaped base with wheels. That's the rolling part of it. And it makes them easier to get around and relocate. And they're an exhibit almost into themselves with the signage that they have on them. So we're going to get those in, and when we do that, we'll have a soft opening, okay, where you can come and see the things that we have in there today. Today, we have the 2 main doors open, basically the ones that you see right there, the west entrance and the north entrance. Inside of there, there's a little bit of an exhibit that has some artifacts in it with some explanations of what they are. We'll also have members of the Maroon Shirt crew that'll be there to explain things for you about what you've seen. Let's see. At this point, I want to introduce our speakers for today. Have any of you noticed the government's been shut down? Okay. Well, it shuts down a lot of things, and among other things, it shut down a couple of the speakers that we're going to have, namely Admiral Hash, who's in attendance, and we appreciate his support, and Captain Van Allen is also here, and we appreciate his support. I do remember Captain Van Allen meeting him the first time. He looked at Bob Campbell and I and said, "What can I do for you?" That was great. Fortunately, we are honored to have the following guest speakers. Travis Endicott, who you may know is the mayor of Ridgecrest. Scott O'Neill, he's Executive Director for the Indian Wells Valley Economic Development Corporation and former Executive Director at NOC-WD. And most importantly, he's an alumnus of the famous Noontime Runners group. If any of you know what that is. If you don't, no problem. So, with those brief introductions, I'd like to first introduce Mayor Endicott.
Hello, welcome to this. I want to thank all of you for taking your time out to come here today. I also want to point out the Toys for Tots group right back there with the Marine. You can wave, it's fine, and you can clap for him.
Yay!
So what I want to talk about with this is just museums in general. I grew up, we grew up relatively poor. We didn't really get to go a whole lot of places. But my parents thought that it was important, us growing up in the Midwest, to go to the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. If you haven't been able to go to that one, please go. But that developed my love of museums. I've lived in at least 7 different states. Every location I went to, I've tried to find a museum because it tells a lot, not only about what has been done, but the people that live in that area and what they're doing. Museums are a great connection between the community and the work being done. And nothing encapsulates that more than this museum right here. Because you get to see the ideas, the information that has been developed here, what stayed here, and what has propelled our country forward. But more importantly, museums serve a purpose of inspiration. I welcome all of the members that work on our base right now to come out here, or individuals in the community, come out here, be inspired. Find the things that people made before and try to make them better. You know, I had a political science professor in college who used to say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does echo. And there's a lot of great things that we can find from the past and the present that can propel us forward. So thank you. Please take time to enjoy this museum. Tell people to get out here to come see this, and enjoy your day and enjoy this wonderful occasion.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get a black mark because I forgot to introduce Steven Sanchez, who's the field rep for Shannon Grove. All right, as promised, our next speaker is Scott O'Neill. Would you rather? Yeah. Be good.
Thanks, Dr. Bob. Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's a wonderful China Lake morning.
Yes, it is.
You know, I'm honored to speak here at this monumental ribbon cutting for the STEAM Discovery Center and also for the China Lake Museum Exhibit Hall. While museums have always been active in education, this opening of the Discovery Center marks a formal start of the museum's mission in educating and motivating our kids into the fields of science and engineering. This aspect of its mission is critical to the future success of the NOC Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division, NOC-WD. So our hopes are that some of the future scientists and engineers that progress NOC's mission in safeguarding our national security will have gotten their start right here in our STEM Center, STEAM Center. So recently there's been a lot of emphasis on strengthening our nation's competencies in the sciences, particularly science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's affectionately referred to as STEM. Well, yep, this is an important imperative. But what really excites me about the museum's interest in this area is the acknowledgement and interest it shows in the arts. Because this is so often overlooked. And the arts underpin the sciences. And arts foster creativity and origination and innovation. And I tell you, it's interesting to me that when I was on the base, I noticed and admired some of our most prolific inventors were also artists in some manner. They were painters, or they were musicians, or they were metal or woodworkers, or they were creative writers, or they were just plain good thinkers. And so that's really exciting to me. So they were confident in venturing into the unknown, forming new ways and developing new techniques to solve critical problems. Alarmingly, today, the arts are being de-emphasized in a lot of our college curricula. So it makes me happy to see the museum embrace this critical element. It's not just STEM, it's STEAM. It's science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. Now, if you think about it, STEAM was a critical resource in powering and building the 20th century Navy. In the early 1900s, it enabled the Navy a global reach. and it made the Navy the mightiest in the world. Think of President Teddy Roosevelt's Great White Fleet, or Admiral Dewey's victory at Manila Bay during the Spanish-American War. Steam remains a critical resource in the Navy of today. Metaphorically, STEAM, the acronym, will power our future Navy, ensuring it will remain that dominant maritime force. So it's fitting that this museum not only emphasize what we must understand and respect about China Lake's contributions to this mighty Navy, but also to provide a vector for China Lake's future. STEAM Discovery Center is not only a key means to this end, but the vision is that the center will be an extension of that supplements the education our children get at school. The vision is that the sciences and arts should not only be enlightening, but also exciting and fun. The vision is that this center will be a place for hands-on STEAM experiences for our kids, letting them create, design, build, and try out their ideas. The vision is this will be a place where this can be done safely. And when things don't work out as hoped, it's okay, because that's when and how you learn. This hope is for the STEAM Discovery Center. Now, as I run out of steam, I want to address one last thing, the exhibit hall. Today's ribbon cutting realizes a long, arduous journey. A journey of fundraising, planning, cajoling, and ultimately building. The hall has been the hope and goal since the formation of the museum by the Navy in 1993. The China Lake Museum Foundation, in partnership with the Navy, has achieved its goal. I say, phew, and congratulations. This has been a long and hard journey. The exhibit hall is complete. Now it just needs to be populated with artifacts. Artifacts that depict the China Lake's contributions to our Navy and our national security. And of these, there are many. The hall will not only be the home to these artifacts, but it will also tell the stories behind these contributions. The stories of the people, the challenges, the innovations, and what these mean to our Navy. It will be the story that is foundational to China Lake. The story of the civilian military team in defining and needing and formulating solutions that give our warfighters an advantage in a fight. A military who understands the need and how a solution must work in the field. And a force of scientists that know how to build things. And they understand science and technology and engineering, the arts and math. Yes, STEAM, that can invent and build those solutions. So one team that works hand in hand towards a common goal. China Lake's history is rich. It has invented, developed, tested, and deployed more innovative capabilities than any of the defense laboratories. Its innovation has not only been in the areas of science and technology or building new warfighting tools, but also in management to help get that work done. These people who enable these achievements have interesting and unique stories of their own. The exhibit hall will share some of those as well. Preserving and portraying the lore of China Lake, the Magnificent Mavericks, the China Lake Way, the military-civilian team, the Secret City, the Mini Manhattan Project, the remoteness, the ability to invent, build, and test without leaving our backyard, the can-do mindset, and the esprit de corps. This is the purpose of this museum. The exhibit hall and the STEAM Discovery Center exemplify this. For together they will tell these stories, exhibit the artifacts, and forge the future. So congratulations to the China Lake Museum Foundation on this achievement. And I welcome you all to the China Lake Museum Exhibit Hall and the STEAM Discovery Center. Yes, it is a wonderful China Lake morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Have you given speeches before? Okay. At this time, I'd like to have Steven Sanchez give a presentation.
Good morning. My name is Stefan Sanchez. I'm representative for State Senator Shannon Grove, and it is my honor to be here today. I want to thank everyone for coming out today. This is an important moment in history here for Ridgecrest, because in reality, museums like this, they inspire the next generation. So the next generation to become, whether they're in studying in space, technology, armament, that they're gonna catapult our warfighter into the next generation of what they need to do to get the job done out there. So thank you for all being here and supporting the museum. Myself, as a father of a 10-year-old, and seeing him while we walk through certain museums, have that epiphany moment or that aha moment where like, wow, this is something I never thought was possible. How did they do it, get it done? I'm like, hard work, perseverance, and they kind of just pushed the limits. Like, you know, they didn't know if it was gonna work, but it's trial and error. And I really love what Scott said about how art is tied into this, because art really, it doesn't always make sense, right? We go and we create and we do things just because. And you need to have that type of spirit when you're trying to advance into a technology-driven field. So thank you so much for supporting here the China Lake Museum. And I have a certificate to present. I would read it, but I think Scott and Mayor gave a lot of really good input. So, but thank you again to all those who support the China Lake Museum and all of those that work here, gives all their time and their efforts and countless hours here. You're inspiring the future. So your work is not unnoticed. And thank you again on behalf of the Senator. So I would like to present the certificate.
You got the picture? Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Bob,
Yeah.
you gotta tell Senator Groves, Senator Groves' contribution.
Yeah, this comes in the next section. Thanks, Tom.
I appreciate $300,000 more. So
Good job.
Tom, knock it off. Okay, it was excellent. To throw in my comments about art, I know when I first saw this, I thought, well, what are they trying to do? Dilute steam? And the answer is no. And one of the examples, if you've ever worked in areas where you had to write specifications, and most of them were in words, think about how hard it was to describe something physical when you could have just drawn a picture and said, okay, I get it. And to me, that's art. That's the one form of it. It's the translation of desired, in this particular case, physical thing into a format that most human beings digest rather regularly. So, first of all, before we get into the actual ribbon cutting, I'd like to remind you that we have tacos, barbecue, coffee, shaved ice, free popcorn, and gift shop will be open. In addition, what we haven't talked about is that for the young and the young at heart, we have the Secret City Rocket Test Range. There are signs down there that were done by Megan Rawson using our friend AI to sort of give a spin on it, which is nice, and you'll see more of her work in the STEAM building. A little bit of the history. Lori Hickel wrote the winning grant submission for the Phase 1 that enabled us, along with membership donations, to move our current location out to Ridgecrest. Lauren Hart, along with Wayne Doucette, were the principals that made Phase 1 happen. Phase 1 is this building here. It is the parking lot. It is the infrastructure, and by that I mean water, sewer, electricity types of things. So that kick-started the whole effort. Senator Grove sponsored the grant supporting the construction and finishing of the exhibit hall. Okay, Alice Campbell, friend of Shannon, deserves credit for getting Shannon to visit the partially completed exhibit hall and hear our compelling vision for our future museum. this moves Shannon to establish a grant that will help us complete the exhibit hall. It's worth noting that will pay for about half of the cost of the exhibit hall. The other half is actually from money generated by the China Museum Foundation over at least 10 years, if not longer. So both of those are monumental. Michelle Kilikauskas and Mary Giles led the team that wrote the winning grant application for the STEAM Discovery Center Annex. Okay, so there's a little bit of history in terms of grants and funding associated with the buildings we have. Is that okay, John? Okay. Right. So finally we're ready for the ribbon cutting. Thanks to Rebecca McCourt and the Chamber of Commerce team for providing the ribbon, giant scissors, and most importantly, safety training. It turns out these are real scissors. They do cut, and I think Tom and Michelle do bleed real blood. So, although about Tom, I'm not real sure all the time. We're going to do something a little different, and I just sort of gave away part of that, is that we're going to have 2 people associated with cutting the ribbon, and I am not one of them. Okay? Thank you. The people that are deserving, first is Michelle Kilikauskas.
Yay, Michelle.
Basically, she's the first vice president of the China Lake Museum Foundation Board of Directors, and her ability and expertise in managing the mountain, believe me, mountain, of paperwork associated with 2 simultaneous state grants would do in most everybody, but she has done it well, and thank you, Michelle. Tom Miller, he's the Vice President of Facilities for the China Lake Museum Foundation Board of Directors, for his ability and expertise in planning, oversight, and interaction with contractors. That's important. for 2 simultaneous state grants is amazing. So we thank you, Tom and Michelle. So what we want to do, I want to announce a couple things, is that after the ribbon cutting, I'd like all the maroon shirted people to go on the other side of here, and we'll take a group picture of the whole gang, essentially. So I will, at this point in time, thank you for attending. We had a great turnout. I wasn't sure, but it turned out quarter till or so, all these people started rolling in, and I'm going, yes! It's actually going to work. So remember that we're going to have the Secret City rocket test range out there. Stomp rockets will be shot out there. And did I mention that the gift shop sells stomp rockets? Okay, so enough of that. So on my behalf, I say have a great day, be safe, and thank you so much for coming. And we're going to do the official act of cutting the ribbon.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michelle, we'll take charge of that. Picture.
Hold on. On 3.
Let's all count down.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay!